Hey everybody, happy April 6th. I hope everybody had an amazing time at home for their Easter. So whatever you did for Easter, I know Ontario was a little bit different with some of the restrictions that came in, but I hope that you're able to, if you saw some of your family, safely see some of your family. For those outside of Ontario, I hope you had an amazing, amazing time with your friends, family, and just really, it's been an interesting, let's call it, time of the year and year as a whole. And I think some of these holidays end up as some markers. So what's going on, Emily? Emily, I can see you there, and hello to everybody that's watching. And again, I hope everyone's enjoying this unseasonably warm weather. It's actually going to get hard to hold off production, but I'll encourage you to remember that you are a marketing company, and the more marketing you can do now, the better. What's going on, Alex? Good to see you too. So again, I think about it too. I mean, yesterday we actually had a young entrepreneur with a dog poop collection company, which was cool the way he put it. So come and help clean up our backyard. That was really cool to see. He's in grade 4. So that was just really cool. And then not long after, I had my lawn aerated by another young entrepreneur. So I thought that it was a pretty cool day, just in the sense of like people are after it right now. For me, like it was, I was happy to get some of those things off my list, and I think you're going to run into that, and that's what I see with a lot of people all across the country right now. I mean, Rookie's doing 50 estimates in a week. Kian, I heard you did 85 estimates last week, and it's there. People are ready to do this, and it's time to get into it. And when I think about that, when I think about mindset, so this week's e-learning course, or this week's training is an e-learning course. So any of the trainings that you would normally have, it's in an e-learning course. It's called Business Owner Mindset. It's a 35-minute video, roughly, that I put together, that I ran, so you'll be able to check it out. And for me, when I think about mindset, it's very different as you move from the employee side of things into an ownership mindset, and really what that takes. And it can be heavy, right? Like it can be something to carry and something to get that's challenging, and you can get tired. So I think there's a lot of things to think about. But for me, understanding that when you're a business owner, you're looking way longer term. So like that can be a bit daunting, because you're trying to think about all the other things you need to do, just what versus as an employee, just thinking about what you're showing up to do today for this shift. So the more you can be planning out in your GSNR with your coach, like what you got to do long term, but then bringing that focus in on the micro, on what you need to do, and just being focused on executing today. I mean, what else are you going to really do? You can't really execute 2-3 weeks from now. So if you execute on today, you're going to be in good shape if your plan is good, and if you execute it. And it's not going to be perfect every day, but there's going to be some days that you'll need to overachieve to make up for the days that sometimes you didn't execute at the highest level as you could, and that's okay, and that's the way that would go. And then the other is just recognizing that rest is okay. Rest is actually a productive activity, but it doesn't mean you need to stop. So I think sometimes that's where we see it. I think of a marathon runner stopping to grab a drink as they go. You need some rest, you need to refuel, but they don't necessarily completely stop and just sit down and stretch and all that other stuff unless they're really hurting. So there's that element of rest does not necessarily mean stop. It may mean just slow down, catch your breath, and fuel up a little bit. And rest is not actually about what just happened. Rest is about getting ready for what's coming up. So I think that's where the mentality and the thinking about it for me is, I'm like, if I need a rest, it's not to try and always catch my breath from what just happened. What's happened. It's done. I'm trying to catch some rest so that I have the energy to dig in and really push things forward into where we're headed next. So just some thoughts as you go through the next few weeks, because you got a lot of people have exams, a lot of people are hiring and training and all sorts of other things that are going to happen, and that's perfectly okay. Focus on the moment. Know if you need some rest. So production orientations. Again, most of them April 14th to 16th. If you haven't talked to your coach about them, we've got team production trainings that you'll learn more about next week, and then your intensity training schedule should be out there too right now. So you can check all that out, and that all leads into boot camp. Boot camp is huge. Or even if you got exams, you'll be running boot camp in and around your exams. So take the 3 weeks that you have right now to get prepared for it and ready to go. Training, like I mentioned as well, is all training this week's all online. And yeah, so you just check that course out. Sorry, Clarissa, I just got your message. So I got the right one here now. So that's awesome. So again, training online, check it out. You'll watch the whole course, and then a Client Tether course will be live in 2 weeks for 2.0. Show you how to use Client Tether for production. Keep your eye out for it on the e-learning platform. Client Tether is one of the coolest tools I think we have right now, We're still just tuning it up to be as strong of a tool as possible, and you need to know how to use the tool or it's pretty useless. So keep a look at an eye out for some of that. So we're going to go through K-Clubs and then Rookie and Entrepreneur of the Week nominations and winners. Big week for a lot of people. But we're going to start off with the 10K Club. So for those that have booked 10K or more in their business so far, we start off with Dammy. Then we've got Daniel Clapper, Akil, Amrit, Kayla Wilson, Lily, Nagel, Pierce Baker, Matt Scott, Josue, Adam Mikowski, Charles Phillips, Jamie Mara, Mark Wonko, Micah Van Stone, Saleh, Talver, Nashua, Alex Kolnick, Brennan Bowler, Aiden Clark, and Allison Bain. So awesome job there. Sorry, Allison Blaine. Sorry about that, Allison. But 10K Club. There's a lot of seniors in there, though, that I know a big goal. Get going, guys. It's awesome that you booked 10 grand. That's a really good milestone, but there's definitely some seniors in there that have some big plans where 10K cannot be where you want it to be right now. So get after it and make sure you got your team hired so that they can help you get after it too. 15K Club, kick that one off with Somto, John Douglas, Joy Higgins, Liam Duff, Aiden Scott, Noah Sloan, Daniel Batoon, Ryan McNally, Vanessa Douglas, Nigel Nielsen, Slada, Shresh, Max Kolnick, McLeod Wilson, Braden Hudson, Will Keever, Diella, Sergio, and Alex Sawyer. Awesome job, everybody, in that 15K Club. 20K Club, Mr. Austin Udy kicking it off with Jitesh Kakar not far behind, Megan Moore, Tarek Buri, Lachlan McDonald, Brandon White, Zach Irvine, Juan Barrera, Juan I, back-to-back Juans, taking down that 20K Club. Peter Dirksen, Connor Evans, Muzz, and George Larmond. Awesome job, everybody. 25K Club, Cole Olfert, Braden Fleury, Wes McDonald, Henry Bourdin, Will Hall, John Beaton, Talia Legere, and Adam Debat. Awesome job, everybody, in that 25K Club. 30K Club, kicking it off with Io, Emily Nadeau, Noah Asbridge, Brenner Murray, Amy Nugent, Ruben Smith with a big week last week. Great job, Ruben, and Oleg Pak. Great job, everybody. 30K Club. 40K Club, Mr. Matt Tkach, Ben Seeley, Joel Warner, Colin Harrell, Jimenez, and Jamie Schultz. Great job, everybody. 50K Club. A couple ladies in there with Erica McAllister and Emma Seedbinney. Great job, ladies. 70K Club. Skipped a few there to get to Mr. David DeFrancisco Marino. Great job, David, and good to talk to you yesterday for a one-off. It was great. And then 70K Club, though. Congrats. And the 100K Club, we got a couple guys up in the 100K Club now. So awesome job to Alex Horner and Kean, Devachi Kean. Another big week last week, put you in the 100K Club. Another consistent week for you, Mr. Alex Horner. Great job last week and keeping that momentum going. So Rookie of the Week, Entrepreneur of the Week. These are going to start to change as we keep going. Like, some of the PCs, they're not drying up. It's just more that a lot of people have booked a heck of a lot of PCs. So keep going. That's your biggest resource. Like, keep pushing. We shouldn't ever get off of PCs. But there's going to be a lot more external that starts to happen that'll become a part of these things. So we'll kick off the Rookie of the Week nominations with a nod to Amy Nugent. 5K book, 2,900 in PCs, 2K in external. Finish hiring your team. As you know, next week is a heavy school week. Great job getting some of these things out of the way and getting your team in place. Your teams right now, again, if you haven't got them, are your biggest priority. Matt Tkach, 6K book, 2K in PCs, $4,000 external, 35 customers, hired a full second crew. Man, you're rolling right now. It's awesome to see that momentum continuing. Gabriel de Guzman, back to the nominations, back to back, my man. Continue to crush it every week right now so far in your first few weeks. Last week you booked over $5,000 in PCs, interviewed some more candidates for your team. All this, again, this balancing with school. So great job balancing all those priorities. Shresh, $3,600 booked. Made sure to get out cold calling and stay consistent with all your callbacks. I mean, that's going to be a big one. That market is huge right now. I just mentioned yesterday, my house was cold called twice yesterday, so I think it's awesome. Daniel Clapper booked $3,800. Good split between those PCs and external. Awesome to see the balance. Matt Scott, you booked $2,000 in external last week, managing school and university baseball. Great job, Matt, for that. Simone Flynn booked almost $4,000. You made some good progress on building your team as well. Love to see all these teams being built. That's such a huge part. And Sukman, you booked $3,100, overachieving on your goal by nearly $1,000 last week. Awesome job, Sukman. So there's your Rookie of the Week nominations. Our Entrepreneur of the Week nominations. Entering for, I think, the first time this year is Mr. Adam DeBat. So again, $6,000 booked for you, Adam. 2K PCs, 4K external. Again, so I had poor results last week. Put in extra energy to get things going this week. Great job, Adam. Alex Horner. Not your first nomination. So again, another $7,000 book last week, officially bringing you into the 105K club. So we'll call it the 100K club. But great job crossing that 105 number, Alex. Kian, you booked $20,000 last week again. So again, a big week for you. Half of that being PC and half of that being external. So it's so great to see you pushing the external so quick. 85 estimates last week, just another rock solid week for you. Erica McAllister booked $8,600 in a week with even with he had some employee challenges, it looks like. So again, just making sure that you're delivering those results, even if you're trying to navigate through some issues. Ruben Smith booked $11,000 this week. Really well done, man. Kicking it into high gear. Awesome job. And Mr. David D. Francesco Marino booked $9,000. Hired an AM. Huge win for you. Congrats. Really great to see you moving that through. So with all that said, those are our nominations. Some real solid performances in there. So if you're struggling with something, those are some great people to talk to. Things are going well for them. And there's a lot of external that's happening, a lot of teams being built. That's kind of the focus this year. We've got to stay on our PCs, but getting these other pieces of the business moving, it's really the engine that starts driving things. So with that said, the Rookie of the Week, Mr. Matt Tkach. I think that's number 3 for you now. Great job, man. $6,000 booked, 4K external, 35 estimates done, hired a second crew. Man, that's a heck of a week. Great progress, Matt. And we will get to you to line up a time that you and I can chat this week so you can share how things went and how you got to where you were. Our Entrepreneur of the Week goes to... This was a heavy debate. I'm not going to lie. There was some conversation around this one, and it was really, really tight. But the nod is going to go for a second time this year to Mr. Kian Devachi. So Kian, awesome job, man. 20K booked. Half of it was external. $10,000 almost in external last week. 85 estimates, getting your team moving. Rock solid. Great job. And again, we'll reach it and figure out a time that we can connect this week, hopefully tomorrow, actually. So again, look out for all the different things that are going to happen throughout the week. A couple of birthdays. Mr. Braden Fleury yesterday. Happy birthday, Slada. It was your birthday on the 4th. So great job making it another year. It was a weird year. Congrats on making it through that last year. And again, congrats to everybody who's making progress in your business. It's a tough time. For the business, you got a lot of new stuff happening. Even if you've been around for a long time, you're building crews. As you're building those things, you've got external that's being added in to PCs. Like the business is stacking on top of itself. It should be getting heavier. It's almost like you need to lift more and run faster at the same time. And you've got school that's on there right now too for a lot of people. So I completely empathize with where you're at. And then the reality is you got to keep moving and pace with your goals. I'm stretched. I don't know if I've ever been as stretched as I am in this moment right now. And that's totally okay. We're going to keep navigating through everything that we need to do. We've got your back on some of the regulations and just we're constantly working through some of that stuff. We've got the training track laid for you, and then you got to show up and put the work in, and we're going to be there running right alongside you, maybe a half step ahead, but we're going to be there to support it. So congratulations, everybody, on making progress. It is the time of the year where the market is really starting to heat up. It's still almost at its fullest, and the competition is fierce out there. So you know what that means. It means it's time to go, everybody. So let's go. Have a great rest of your week. We'll talk to the Rookie and Entrepreneur of the Week here in the next day or two, and have a good one, guys. Take care.